Okay, if I've done this correctly finally, I think we're finally online now. Welcome to the Franchise Hockey Manager 3 Twitch TV stream. I'm Jeff Ridalls, the producer of Franchise Hockey Manager, and we are back. I would normally would be here with our community manager Adam, who's in the process of moving right now. So I'll be doing this solo tonight unless he happens to make a late appearance. We're going back tonight to our Toronto Maple Leafs game from the current season. Doing a little bit worse than the actual Leafs are doing at this point, although it looks like they're about to go down to just above 500. The Flames are up 3-0 on them tonight. In this game, however, we've just turned it around a little bit in the last couple of games. We had been doing really poorly, and Austin Matthews hadn't been scoring at all, but we've won the last couple, beat Vancouver 6-5, and then LA in our last game managed to pull out a 3-2 win. So it looks like we may be starting to turn this around. So we'll just get this rolling here, and looks like our next game is against Philadelphia tonight. So I'm going to have a quick look over my lineup, and I apologize if I'm a little slow getting to the chat tonight. I normally have Adam looking at that for me, but I would just look in manual every so often myself to make sure that I'm not missing anybody saying anything. Let's see, I don't think I want to make any lineup changes at the moment, considering we've won the last couple of games. We've still got Frederik Andersen out with an injury. That's our biggest injury issue at the moment, other than the guys Robidas, Horton, and Lutpool, who started the season hurt and probably won't be coming back anytime soon, probably at all for Robidas and Horton, and Lutpool is another 2 or 3 months away. But Andersen is finally getting closer. He's down to 2 to 3 weeks, so we should hopefully have him back by the end of November and be able to get our goals started in the game before we've done too much damage to our playoff chances. And I think I'm going to stick with, well, we'll go with Berube and net because I think he's won the last couple. And let's just double check that the strategy, everything looks okie dokie there. Okay, good. And let's move on to the game against the Flyers tonight. I should have taken a look at how they're doing, but start that up. I think we'll play this one out, and I should say at this point that the version of the game that I'm playing is actually a test build that's a couple of versions ahead of the most recent release version. So if you're seeing anything here, oops, turn game stoppages off. If you're seeing anything here that looks unusual, that's not in your version of the game, that's why, and it will be, assuming everything tests okay, it will be coming in the next update. But that also, since it is a test version, that also raises the possibility that we could get a crash or other weird things going on. I really hope not, but it could happen, so advance warning. Things, well, 10 minutes through the first period, we don't even have a shot yet, so I'm not sure if we're coming off the hot streak now or what. That's a little disappointing. Yeah. Literally halfway through. So finally, there we go, one shot. The good news is we've held the Flyers to 1, so defensive struggle here, and we're starting to pick it up now. And somehow the Flyers wind up scoring anyhow on their second shot of the game. Typical. Oh, Adam, you are there. Is that music coming through a little loud? It looks like we're playing fairly decently, just not getting the goals so far. But I can't say I'm too unhappy with the results at this point. I mean, I'm shooting them 9-4. It's better than we've done lately. Anybody having a particularly bad game so far? I'm looking through the game ratings. Nothing really standing out so far. Flip over to the stats screen. Yeah, well, it looks like we're getting a lot of the shots from the outside, but again, playing well defensively, getting offensive chances. Just stick with this, and I think this will turn around. I hope. And same old. Flyer penalty, and we got a few more shots. I mean, this is a great defensive game out of us. Looks like Brandon Davidson's playing really well. Trouba's having a nice game defensively. If you're just joining, we signed Trouba as a free agent in the we traded for his rights from Winnipeg in the off season and signed him as a free agent. And Davidson was a waiver pickup. And great, playing good defensively, and the goalies are letting us down. I mean, this is why we really need Frederick Anderson back. And finally we died. As soon as I take my eyes off the game for a second, we do get one there. So I'm not sure who got that. I'll check that at the end of the period. Not oddly enough, the Flyers seem to be coming back, and that's when we finally start scoring. Or I can start checking the end of the period. I could just look in the score. Kadri got it. Kadri from Trouba and Michalek. Yeah, it's one of those hard luck games. Shooting 23-15, down 2-1. I'll just... Yeah, you can see we've even got the tactical advantage for once. That's been a rare thing so far this year, so we're doing everything right. Just not getting the bounces so far. And there we go. As soon as I say that, Bozak evens it up for us. So here comes the comeback. And Flyers down a man, but apparently keeping it at our end most of the time. That's not good. Momentum is on our side, tactical advantage is on our side. We got everything going. We're out shooting them, and Mason's just shutting us down so far, more or less. And as soon as I mention it, and now we're up 3-2. And you can see, I was mentioning before, Austin Matthews finally had a really terrible start with us, unlike real life, where he had that 5-goal game. But now he's got a goal and assist tonight. That's adds on to a really hot streak he's had lately. Trouba having a very nice game, particularly defensively for us. And I hope we can hang on to this, because that'd be a waste of a comeback if we couldn't keep ahead of them. I mean, they haven't had a shot in the last little while. It'd be nice if we get an empty net goal towards the end of this, but and now we got a two-man advantage to finish it up, so Flyers pretty much handed to us at that point. Thanks, guys. Not going to get an empty netter here, but we might get a... Nope, no power play, but the game is over, and I mean, that's a fantastic game for us. 41-22 on shots. Looking through the game ratings, Matthews had a nice one. Gardner pretty well, too. I think it must have slipped a little bit near the end for some of these guys. Oh, Trouba, fantastic game. Yeah, let me just end that, and I'm going to take a quick look at 3 stars. Yeah, no surprise there. Trouba with the first star. And I might have given Matthews the third one. Gottsberg gets the second for the Flyers. I guess he had a good one. Yeah, not a bad one for him, but a little bit of charity there. And St. Louis, okay, that's why we did so well. The Flyers are kind of struggling this year. So we are up to 5-7-2 and at least climbed out of last place in the NHL. So no Nolan Patrick for us this year, hopefully. And we're actually within a couple of points because the rest of the division isn't doing too great outside of Detroit and Montreal. So 2 points out of 5th place, but we're in 8th. If we can get one more win here, I think we'll be in pretty good shape. Although we've got the Penguins tomorrow night, so that may be a little difficult. And great, Mitch Marner was hurt. I'll have a look at that in a second. And Matthews is up to a 9-game assist streak. Didn't know that. How's Marner doing? It looks like it's something minor, fortunately. Minor calf laceration day to day, so he can play. He's not going to stitch him up and rub a little dirt on it, and he'll be back in. I am going to... Berube's fitness is way down, so I'm going to swap Enroth in for this game against the Flyers, or Penguins rather. Even though he's been playing well, I don't want to take a chance on his fatigue rating being that low. And looks like Landeskog's off to a good start, but I'm more concerned right now with Crosby. Let's just make sure he's not injured or anything. Oh, what do you know? Lo and behold, Crosby is injured for the Penguins, so we've got a shot here. Playing Hagelin, Bonino, and Malkin on the first line. And should I know? I think I'll play this one out. I may sim to the end of the period, or sim to the end of the game if this gets ugly on us. It's Sestito taking a penalty there. That puts us down a man early. But again, great defensive effort. Killed off the penalty. The Penguins haven't even had a shot yet. I mean, a little easier, obviously, with no Crosby around, but Malkin's still there. So, and now we get a chance. And are we going to get shut out on the power? Yeah, no shots for us on the power play either. So, easy come, easy go. Trouba again, looking like he's having a pretty good game defensively. You can see that defensive game rating has started to climb already for him. Look over at the Penguins side. And they didn't end up on shots. I'll look at the end of the period to see exactly where those are coming from, but don't think it's playing particularly badly so far. And there we go. McCulloch makes it 1-0 for us. Good way to end the period. And oh yeah, they're shooting from... Well, I'd say we're shooting from long range, but apparently we got one from the far end of the ice on goal. But generally, though, they're shooting from way, way outside, and we're getting in a lot closer. So good news there, and I got the tactical advantage, so I'm going to have a look between periods, which is right now. And is there anybody I can switch around to? Looking for the countering rolls that will work better against the yellow or red markers on the countering rolls that will reduce their tactical effectiveness and hopefully drag us up. Okay, there's one I can do there. It's going to have Mateau playing a little bit more offensively. I'm not sure that that's going to be great. Riley, we will switch him over if I can to. No, it's a secondary role though, so that won't be quite as effective. Even though it's going to be a counter, so I think I'll leave that as it is. I'm going to try moving him to more of a two-way role defensively. Oops, no. Oh, I thought that was a counter. Oops, I was looking at the wrong thing then. I was looking at his defensive role. That's why I wanted the offensive one. So, pay a little bit more attention to defense when he's going forward. That will get us a few extra points. And Nylander, can I do anything with there? And no, unfortunately. Although what I could do is have Nylander, if I remove his role, I can put, I'm doing that backwards. Again, I want the defensive role, not the offensive one. If I take Nylander out of that and switch Komarov over to the two-way role, oh no, I see what I'm doing wrong here. That's not going to work. Going to have to go with that and hope that one change is going to be enough to get the tactical advantage back, but I'm not optimistic it will. And no, it doesn't look like it has. We're still putting up some shots, and again, another good defensive effort coming out of the second period. Leaf penalty, and Kadri gets a shorthanded one for us. Kadri from Riley, and that puts us up 2-0. So looking to extend the winning streak to 4 games now. I'm not sure exactly what we did to turn this around, but I'm not going to complain about it. Certainly doesn't help not having to play against Crosby tonight. I'm going to take a look at the end of this just to see exactly what has happened with him. But, you know, obviously hurting Pittsburgh's offense tonight, and Enroth is having one of his better games of the season so far for us. I think we lost a few early on that we might have had a chance at because of some questionable goaltending, but looking good tonight. 15 shots on him, and he stopped every one of them. Until that one. I guess I sort of indirectly mentioned the shutout there, so I shouldn't have jinxed him that way. But we got a power play here. Let's see if we can get one back, hopefully. But no, we got half a minute left in the third. In the power play in the third, I will stick with this because so far so good. Marner with his injury not doing too hot tonight and not getting a lot of playing time. Matthews having a good game. Trouba fairly solid, not as good as his last couple, but... And there we go, Connor Brown makes it 3-1. And Stefan Mateau, 4-1. I think this was ours pretty comfortably now, so... Definitely don't want to make any roster moves at the moment because these guys are on a roll. 4 wins in a row, and I think this should take us out of last place in the division unless everybody else happened to win tonight. Matthews no points tonight, but he's had a good game. Jake Gardner likewise. going to be an interesting contest for first star, although I think Mateau's gotten a goal and an assist, even though he's played really poorly defensively. You can see from that 48 rating, the offense from the fourth line has made up for it. And it looks like we got shut down a little bit in the third, although we did win. What do you know? We did get the tactical advantage back. I think the Pittsburgh coach may have made some changes there, and something didn't work out for him, so we've got that. We've got the lead, and we win it 4-1. And Mateau, yep, does get the first star. Polak and Enroth, pretty good game out of our guys. Nobody really standing out super far. Mateau was good offensively, but kind of questionable defensively. Chris Letang, good game for the Penguins, but the rest of them look pretty mediocre. Let's have a look at the standings to see where we are now, and we have climbed out of last, ahead of Tampa. Oddly enough, they're not doing too well. 1 point back of the, no, tied with the Bruins, but they've got a game in hand, 1 point back of Ottawa. So if we can keep this rolling, I think we can climb up to the middle of the division fairly quickly. And that was the that was the end of Matthew's 9-game assist streak. So I think I can live with that as long as we got the result. Not going to make any lineup changes. I did want to have a look at Pittsburgh just to see what's going on with Crosby. It's not day-to-day. Oh, it is day-to-day. He's food poisoning. Okay, so got a bad hamburger or something before the game. Thank you to whoever cooked that for him, but that gave us an easy win. And we've got a few days off now. Coming up next is Nashville, and I'll have a look at them in a minute. Just mentioning while we're simming through this, still working on the update for on the next update for the game. So far, so good. As you can see, we haven't had any crashes yet in this game. A lot of bug fixes in this one. So we're kind of hoping something towards the beginning of next week if all goes well. And oh boy, Alexander Barkov. That's bad for the Florida. Looks like he's had a really serious concussion. He's gone for at least a year or more. Almost lucky it's not career-threatening at that point. And Frederick Anderson is back skating with us, so I don't want to start playing him yet, but he's only a week or two away. Our goalie's been doing okay, but I definitely want the regular starter back. And still a couple of days away from Nashville. Anyhow, getting back to the update, ideally beginning of next week. There's a few things that will be added back in that one, and various bug fixes. I haven't had time to do a lot of proper testing for things like long-term development and that sort of thing yet, and we're actually hoping to have one major addition to the game in the patch after this one, but I'm not going to hint any more at that yet. We've just started work on it, so hopefully we'll have something interesting for you before Christmas. Scouting report from Europe, nobody too impressive over there, but hopefully we're not going to be drafting super early this year. Yaskin was on waivers. 1.5 stars, yeah, I wouldn't really want him anyhow, so fine with him. One thing that did get fixed, incidentally, is the waiver rule. There was a bug in the game earlier where if you picked up a guy on waivers and then sent him back down, sent him down to your farm team, he wouldn't have to clear waivers a second time. That doesn't happen anymore, so when if we do that, I'm not going to pick anybody up on waivers now, but if I sent Davidson down, for example, and I definitely don't want to do that because he's playing pretty well for us right now, he would be exposed to waivers when I do that. And we are around to Nashville. So Enroth had a good game last night, but Berube's been playing well as well. both at 100%. Just looking how they've been playing this year. Yeah, Berube's had 2 excellent games. Enroth had that last good one, but I think I am going to go back to Berube, because I'm probably going to wind up sending him down. After Anderson gets back, so let's get him one more game in, or at least let him give him a case, see if he can make a case for him staying up and Enroth going down. But the plan for the time being is to send down Berube when Anderson's back up. And not quite as good a start this time. No shots for us in the first 5 minutes. No score yet, though, at least. And Weber, did I just... Oh, Yannick Weber. Okay, that's why he's... Saw Weber on Nashville for a second and wondered what had happened with Subban and Weber, but... Oh, and... Well, I'm not seeing PK Subban anywhere. So I think we're running into incredible luck with other teams' injuries so far, although we're getting killed here in the first. 7-1 on shots and no goals yet. I am trying to keep an eye on the chat, so if you've got questions, let me know. Haven't seen any so far, so either my Twitch chat is locked up on me, but it isn't giving me the error message, or nobody's got anything to say tonight. And we get out of the first period, but I've got to do something about that shot advantage. What can we do strategically? Get Connor Brown playing a little more physically, see if that helps a bit. Holland on the fourth line. The nice thing about the fourth line is you can adapt a little bit. Yeah, he's down to 2 stars, 2 dots as a power rating. I think that'll be okay. So I'm just trying to get a little bit more out of us offensively. The nice thing about the third line is you've got complete freedom for your role selections, so that's a good place to try to win the advantage back on. Gonna have a quick look, see if anything... Nothing really jumping out at me. Gonna run Reamstake. That's not going to work. I think that's going to be enough, though, to turn around the advantage for us. I hope. Starting up the second, and sure enough it does. You can see the circle went over to the Leaf side now, so we've got the tactical advantage. So let's start getting some offense going, boys. There we go. That's 1 shot. Upped our total by 50% for the game. Oh, we're on a roll now. 3 shots. But yeah, you can see how it's definitely turned around since we got the advantage back. Momentum shifting, it had shifted on our end, just switched back towards the neutral settings, so at least we're playing them evenly so far. And obviously tough goalie in Rene to beat, especially if you're only getting 6 shots on him. Need to generate a little bit more offense because it seems to have tailed off after that one little burst in this period, but at least Nashville's not really dominating us offensively. Only 14 shots for them. Gardner, Trouba, again, another good game out of him. Turning out to be a really good signing for us. Got the power play now. Unfortunately, Philip Forsberg makes it 1-0 for Nashville. I can't really say I'm not surprised at that. 17 shots, and Berube in goal. Lucky that they've only had one so far, so we still have the tactical advantage, however, so I'm going to stick with what we were doing in that period, and hopefully we can turn it around in the third. See the play is getting down to their end a little bit more often now. Just can't get one by Rene. We're playing pretty well defensively. Yeah, Trouba's having a great game defensively, so is Gardner. So our D is playing really well, and it's just the forwards that are letting us down tonight. Matthews is cooling down again after that big streak he had, but he hasn't had points in a couple of games now. Above average would probably be about 60 plus for, just had a question in chat, what's considered above average for game rating. I'd say above average would be probably anything above 60. Once you hit 70, it's starting to get into the really good range. 80 is outstanding. It changed a little bit from the way it was in FHM 2. And Ryan Johansson makes it 2-0, so that's the end of that for us, and so much for our winning streak. The game ratings in FHM 2 tend to be a lot higher than the FHM than they are in this version. But since they tend to be lower in this, there's a bit more of a spread in them, and you can see more diversity from game to game in the players. Yeah, Gardner had a great game defensively. Connor Brown, not impressive at all. Trouba, excellent. Yeah, Trouba Riley, fantastic game from our defense. Just the offense let us down that time, so it doesn't matter if Anderson comes back if we're going to have offensive efforts like that. And I think I'm going to sim through that Florida game that's next. Obviously put Enroth back in goal for that, I think. And if we're really lucky, we're going to get Anderson back quickly, but I'm guessing he's still going to be another week and a half or so away. Bad injury for Kevin Shattenkirk. That's going to hit the Blues pretty hard. Mitch Marner is almost completely healthy. Giordano goes down for a little while. 5-point night for Claude Giroux in Philadelphia against Ottawa. And standings, yep, we've fallen back into last place, but at least nobody's got a game in hand on us anymore. Oh, maybe I should actually watch that Panthers game, because it's a divisional one for us, and it's not going to put us ahead of them if we win, but could leapfrog Ottawa at least. So I'm just going to make that change now, and Connor Brown had a really terrible game for us, so can see Matt Martin play right wing. He can a little bit. I think that's worth trying. So I'm going to sit Brown and... Where's Martin? And obviously we want Martin playing a pretty physical role. Don't want him just fighting now. And I don't think Brown was on any of the special teams units, if I remember correctly. Okay, I think we're set for Florida. quite sure how Florida's doing this year. I'm just going to have a quick look over there. Wow, Keith Yandel having a heck of a year. Yager doing okay. Huberdeau. They actually seem a little low scoring so far. And good old James Reimer in goal for him. I'm hoping he gets the start tonight. Yeah, it looks like whatever tactic the Panthers are playing doesn't do well against physical teams, so I'm going to come out hitting tonight. And I'm guessing I'm going to start with the coaching advantage. Yeah, tactical advantage, yes I do. So I think we should be in good shape for this one. We're not producing a lot of offense right now. Somehow we're not getting any shots at all. Oh, we got a penalty. That's not helping the situation. But Enroth at least keeping the puck out of the net so far. Reimer is in goal for Florida, and unfortunately we give up one already. Come on, you guys, you got to get a shot at some point here. I know we're playing physical, but you got to get a little offense as well. Not even throwing a lot of hits so far, too. I guess just getting ugly. And Huberdeau makes it 2-0. Okay, hang on a second here. Gonna amp up the offense a little bit, try to play a higher tempo, higher risk game. Don't think I'm gonna make any other changes. But come on, you gotta get at least one shot here. Yeah, see, we're missing the net. Finally, we got a couple there. Yeah, that looks like it's turned around big time. So the momentum's all on Florida's side at this point, but at least we're showing some signs of life. So I think we've gotten about 5 shots in the last 6 or 7 minutes. Not that it helps any. Riley Smith makes it 3-0 Florida, and I'm starting to wonder whether I need to pull Enroth. I mean, I made my strategic changes in the middle of the period there, so I don't really think there's much of a point in making any between period changes here. So he started to pick it up as soon as I made had him play a little more offensively. So it's just bad goaltending really at this point. So I'll go with it a little while longer, but I think if we get another goal in this half of the period against us, I have to think about pulling Enroth. But there we go, finally get on the board, and I think, yeah, Matthew's got an assist on that, so maybe he's going to start going again. And look at that, we turned around to shot lead. So never let it be said that the coaching changes in this game don't make a difference. Playing much better in the second period now, and just in general, since halfway through the third where we changed up the offensive tactics a little bit. James Reimer, of all people, is shutting us down. 23 shots, 1 goal. Shot total in this period must be ridiculous. He has to be getting close to 20. And Martin Marincin gets his first of the year. Oh, second of the year, actually. Riley and Trouba, that's kind of a weird one. We had 3 defensemen in on the goal. Makes it 3-2, though. Must have been a line change in the middle of that. And into the second, and just want to have a little quick look at the box score to see how badly we outshot them that period. That's a little bug there. Yeah, 20-2. Not going to change anything after that kind of performance. So on to the third. See if we can keep it up, although Florida's been a little more aggressive at the start of this period. Still got the tactical advantage for us. Reimer continuing to shut us down. Looks like it's been going back and forth quite a bit, and it's mostly staying in our end, which isn't good. Yeah, momentum, and now look at that, it was way over on the Florida side for a second. I think this is one of those ones where if we had Anderson back that we would probably be in, and as soon as I see it, Greg McKegg down 4-2. But Trouba gets us back within one, so we still might have a chance here. And we've had a terrific performance offensively in the second and the third after having almost no shots in the first. We're going to hit 40 for the game. And Reimer somehow shuts us down. Momentum was with us all at the end. McKegg with 3 points for Florida, and Yandel still hot, 2 more assists. And what's that done standings-wise? Doesn't look like anybody else was playing, so we haven't dropped too far down, but that's probably going to change in the next couple of days. And we got Montreal back, and if I'm remembering correctly, they did beat us at the start of the year. I thought we had one against them, but and this one is in Montreal. When's that coming? 2 days from now. Take a quick look to see if there's been any progress wise on Frederick Anderson, but nothing so far. So unless I get a big surprise, he's not going to be back for this one, and I think I'm just going to sim through the next couple of games to see if we can get Anderson back in time for the next time we do the stream. Mitch Marner back at full health. That's good news. We're playing so well offensively near the end of that one, and I don't want to make any changes just to see if we can bring that over into the next game against Montreal. And it looks like Montreal played tonight, so hopefully they'll be a little bit tired going into this one. Any interesting injury changes? Yep, Anderson's down day to day. So I'm not going to put him back in for this one. But he is going to be back soon, and Berube will probably be the guy that goes down. But let's give the guy from Quebec a start in Montreal, but I am just going to sim this one out. Although I am going to make a couple of minor adjustments here offensively. See if I can get the tactical advantage to start out with. And winds up being a 3-1 win for us. Looks like Montreal took a ton of penalties too. How many power plays do we have in that? 8 power plays for the Leafs, 1 for Montreal. Well, Montreal fans aren't going to be too happy about that. And Komarov with 2 goals and assists for us, and an assist. Max Pacioretty's 500th game we kind of ruined there, I guess. So with that win, we are still in last place. Running a little low on time, but I will... Got 3 days till the Carolina game, so with any luck we'll get some news on Anderson that he's back and ready to play, even if it's only maybe sitting on the bench behind Enroth for one game until he's 100%, because I don't want to rush him back. Because there is definitely a chance if you bring a guy back when he is still carrying a minor injury, he is at a higher risk of getting injured again. So that's something to consider when you've got guys coming off the disabled list. No news on Anderson yet, but the game's still a couple of days away, so hopefully we'll see something there. Florida just lost, I saw. That's good. Scouting reports coming back. I do have everybody assigned. Just want to double check that. Yeah, everyone's on the job. If Anderson's not back, I'm going to give Berube one more start. He's been playing, outplaying Enroth in the little bit that he's done so far. Now, if Berube can get a win in this one, and then Anderson comes back, I think I might think about sending down Enroth instead. Although I should take a look at their waiver eligibility. I think they both have to clear waivers. Oh, Berube isn't waiver eligible, so okay, that makes a decision for me. So Enroth goes back to starting, and Berube is, even if he had played well, I would have sent him down regardless. We got New Jersey. How are they doing? A little under 500, roughly the same as us, so we've got a decent shot at this one. Anderson's still day to day. Come on. And it looks like New Jersey has a little bit of trouble with physical players, so gotta have Mateau play a little more physically. I think that should give us a pretty good offensive advantage. And sim it out again. And so much for the offensive advantage. 4-0 shutout. We even get many shots. 25-28. We didn't. Cam Ward had a reasonable game, but Enroth not too good at all. Back up against New Jersey. I could have sworn we just played that. And Matt Martin, you remember I moved him over to right wing on the 4th line, and he's improving there, so he can stay in the lineup, as bad a result as that last game was. And game day, and still no Frederick Anderson. It's one of the things that can be a little frustrating is we've added, with the changes we've added to injuries, it's possible that a guy gets to this day-to-day stage and can have trouble moving out of it. So he may get stuck there a little for a while, and it's really tempting to just take him off the injured list and drop him back into games since he's only day-to-day. But if he goes out again, that's going to be the whole season for us, so I will stick with that, and I'm just going to Make a few minor changes to my offense. Enroth versus Corey Schneider. That's not a great matchup. And yeah, 2-1 Devils. Did we at least manage to generate much offense here? We only outshot him 24-21. Something, I guess. And 3 days before the Washington game, so come on, Anderson, you got to be ready by this point. And no news is bad news. Problem with Anderson being hurt is I'm just kind of in a holding pattern right now as far as making other moves goes, because I don't know how much of us being under 500 now is because we've don't have our starting goalie. Oh, Anaheim wiped out Chicago. Okay, question in the forum. Oh, that's odd. Your coaches and scout reputation got reset after the first season? If you can, upload that save and maybe post to the forum as well, and let me know, and just give me all the details of it, because that's definitely something we're going to want to check out. I haven't seen that happen before. And Pittsburgh and Colorado making a trade. Matt Cullen and Sean McGuire for Eric Jelena and the rights to Prospect. So not a big deal. Guess Colorado wanted some veteran help. And we are at today, and guess what? Still no Anderson. And he's still got the red circles, so I can't even bring him off the protected list if I wanted to. What the heck, I'll give Berube one last game because there's got to be no way Anderson sits out for the next one after this too. And there we go, finally we bounce back with a 5-2 win against the Capitals. Polak, first star, Gardner, yeah, great game from our defense. 4 goals from defensemen. We got the other one. Oh, Matthews got, that was a penalty. And Reemsdyke got the empty netter. Otherwise, it would have been all our offense from D. Still sitting in last place, though. And I'm going to wind this up in a couple of minutes. Just, I think I'll advance ahead to the Oilers game, and we'll find out whether or not we're going to get Anderson back by then. But we won't actually play that one. Looks like we got the Western Road trip coming up right now, so that's a good place to leave off for this broadcast. And the Pittsburgh, I guess Crosby's back 11-2 against New Jersey. And good place. And there we go, finally. See, as soon as I'm ready to finish, Frederick Anderson is ready to come off the disabled list. He is not ready to oh, it looks like he's still got the no, he still can't play playing games yet, so gonna have to wait a little while longer. Oh wait, that was only the first day of simming, so give me another day or two and I think he will bump down to being ready full-time for regular games. I hope. Anderson back soon. That's another good scouting update. He won't be 100%, but it is now safe to dress him, and dress him. Yes, thank you. I will. First of all, though, I got 23 on my roster. So, thanks for playing reasonably well, JF Berube, but you're going down to the Marlies. Anderson can go on the active roster. But I don't think I'm going to be playing him against Edmonton unless that. I'm going to sim one more day and see if that minor injury status goes away, but I doubt it. Almost to 100%, but not quite there yet. So Enroth will get the start tonight against Calgary, or at least when we return to this game, because I think I am going to leave it off there. Let's have a quick look how the team is doing so far. Austin Matthews, very good year. Not impressive with the from the rest of the forwards. Kadri only 5 points. Mitch Marner only 8. He's doing a lot better in real life. And Riemsdyk, everybody except Matthews has been pretty disappointing. That oh, Mikulic's, yeah, he's done okay. Bozak, not too bad. But Riley, yeah, our defensemen are doing reasonably well. What did the game rating sorting look like? I'm guessing, yeah, Gardner's been the best. Riley, Matthews, Trouba, 3 out of 4 defensemen at the top. I should look at putting Zaitsev back in. He did okay in those first few games. Can't remember why I dropped him out. But okay, yeah, we will wind it up there, and we will get back to this next week and try to see if the Leafs can actually start winning some games with the starting goalie back. And I'm realizing now I should have written down the list of everything that Adam always goes through at the end of every broadcast. But if you want to see more about the game, you can visit our forums at otdevelopments.com. We're also on Twitter and Facebook page. There's an FHM3 Facebook page if you want to keep an eye on that. All of our broadcasts and any update news, that sort of thing, will be posted there. The forum, if you've got any bug reports, just like that, the one we got tonight, please post them there. We're in the process of getting as much fixed as possible in the next few days. I'm hoping the next update will be out sometime towards the beginning of next week. Not 100% sure of the actual date yet, and it's still a little bit dependent on testing. But you can see tonight I didn't have run into any crash problems or any obvious issues. So far so good with the testing. And then we'll hopefully be able to sneak in maybe one more update before Christmas, and if all goes well, we got something good coming for you. So thank you for coming out, and we will be back this time again next week. Hopefully Adam will be back with me, and I think we may be back to our Ottawa Senators expansion game, or we just may go ahead with this one with the Leafs again and see what happens now that Anderson's back. So thank you for coming out, and I will see you in a week.